Hi, I'm Alistair, the Grumpy CIO. It's Thursday, the 30th of March, 2023, and I am grumpy about GPT-4 and the hype and blurb that's out there about how it's going to write all our code for us. It can write code, sure. It can't write production-level releasable code that's suitable for your organization without significant adaptations. It just can't. My feeds are awash with hype about how it's going to change the world. And don't get me wrong, it is an astonishing tool. I'm not being a Luddite. Something doing the rounds at the moment is how you just gave it some simple instructions and it produced a Tetris game in a blink of an eye. It's absolutely astonishing. But that's not all the work to get something in for your organization, and it can't do that for you. You still have to work out what a system should do. It's the large language model. It doesn't have your idea for you. It can help prototype things, but you still have to think about that yourself. And more importantly, you need to work out what it fits with. It can't know that. Sure, you can keep training and giving it more stuff, but fundamentally, that's your job. It does give you some ideas for how to generate some code, but that's not new. Like it's powerful and it's visible because a business person can see it. But your developers already, they'll start cutting some code, working out the structure, working out their code, working out their code summary, how they're going to test it, if they're following a TDD approach. But then they'll go, oh, how do I do that? And they'll go to Stack Overflow. There are code auto generators. They'll go to GPT-4. They'll Google it. This isn't new. It's very good and it's astounding in its power, but it isn't new. You still have to work out something that's readable, testable, scalable, supportable. Boring. Not boring. When I worked for a bank who will remain nameless in the noughties, I spent X million dollars developing a solution for them as an IT project manager. We documented it completely, made sure it's completely testable, failover testing, performance testing, boring stuff. Then, 5 years later, they'd lost all that documentation. They had to update the infrastructure. They spent 2x, twice as much money just trying to move the thing that I'd already built for them 5 years ago because they hadn't maintained any of that information. It's not boring, it matters. When you're making stuff, you have an idea, then you kind of nail it down. And that is where GPT-4 is one of a number of tools, but it's an amazing tool where you can actually go almost back to the 90s, where you have like a business person, developer sitting together going, I've got an idea, I've coded it, look at this. And it comes up with a prototype. And that's beautiful. But then you still actually do have to sit it with your system architecture. Then you have to code it properly to actually work out how it fits with everything else, which is where you spend a lot of your time and see if it works. This is the amount of time typically it takes you to actually get something real to customers. Working out what it is always takes longer than people think it does. Coding what it actually does, this is where GPT-4 is one of a number of tools that will save a lot of this time. It only takes this portion of like the end-to-end time. The rest of it is working out how to test it, how to make it scale, how to make it performant. What does that mean? How do I do it? Then you got to fit with all the other stuff, and that's all the way from your coding style. Is this a camel case? All the way to your integration points. And when I say integration points, it's not just things like obvious APIs within your organization. It's also we're taking the CSV file from here, and every organization has this mess of like beautifully coded stuff that an AI can really read and be trained on quite well, and just something that's on Bob's Excel file. Then you have to integrate it and test it and do it again. That's work that doesn't disappear. It is work that can be get rid of. And as I said, I'm recording this at the end of the March 2023, but there are things that can take away a lot of this work. To start with generating the usable code, but look at the ands. They're all solvable problems, and fitting it with all your as-is code and working out all your integration points, and not just the obvious ones, but all the unobvious ones like random CSV uploads, somebody having to remember to do something in a calendar job at a certain point on Thursday afternoon. All of that can be produced into an AI. The testing approach, how you're going to do it, how you're going to scale it, and documenting it as your organization needs, so you as a future AI or the human can read it in a year, 2 years' time. All of that can be done. And when that does happen, we'll have this astonishing thing where you work out what it is. You still have to do that yourself. But then it just gets generated. And a senior just has to check it works, and then you release it. And that will be amazing. But we're not there yet. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I'm Alistair, the Grumpy CIO. I am the Grumpy CIO for www.shipshape.vc. We are the venture capital search engine. Come for us to improve your investor outreach. You're a startup or you're working with a startup that needs funding. We are the search engine for venture capital. Hope to see you on here. Thanks for listening.